Welcome back. Next up is a Group C bout between the international wildcard Bangkok Titans and Korea's #1 seed SK Telecom T1. Now, as we look towards that matchup, Warlock explains how facing a powerhouse like SKT is just the cost of doing business when you play at Worlds.
So having to play SKT is like overwhelming, I guess, because a lot of people have them as like the best team in the tournament. But to me, at least, I feel like we already expected to have a hard group coming into Worlds because every team is good enough to make it here. So I wasn't too upset or anything with the group.
Yeah, I definitely think it's a framing of your mindset as well, because they're coming in and you're not thinking they're the best team in the world, right? Now they get to go up against the best tutors in the world and then learn from that, and they'll have that footage.
And that's the proper mindset to have when you consider that yesterday they had to go up against EDG, the winners of MSI, and today they're going up against the runners-up, SKT. So it's not getting any easier for them, really, in this matchup.
No, it's not.
It's like what I'm thinking of is like it's as if I was in a ring against Mike Tyson in his prime. But I would kind of brag about the fact that I've been in the ring for 10 seconds before I got KO'd. You know, I think it's
yourself 10?
It's good experience.
I don't know if I even give you 10, Yamato. I mean, that's a generous
I think I can
assumption.
run to the corner for
Oh, okay. Yeah, you quick feet, right? Just run circles around him. Well, anyway, you know, on the side of SKT, though, we talked a little bit yesterday about how they didn't have the cleanest of games. So as this is a game that we do expect them to win, where do we look for them to execute a little bit sharper than they did yesterday?
I don't want to use beating the Bangkok Titans as the metric for how good a team is, but I do want to praise how fast-paced, how aggressive, how impressive EDG's win was, even over a team that they vastly outclass. And if SK Telecom can't have that same level of execution, because in my mind, that's what we were seeing in their first game, was Marin being a little bit sluggish, slow on the teleport trigger, not looking like they were all of the same mind. And I want to see the same style of game from SKT that we saw from EDG, because we know EDG has that immense confidence, which is a very big strength of theirs, actually.
All right, well, cleanliness of execution, that's what we're looking for here. Now the teams are ready, so without further ado, let's step inside Ladakh Pullman for picks and bans.
Thank you very much, Dash. We are here and ready to go into our next game. So before we start, let's start running down the rosters. And for Thailand's Bangkok Titans, let's get that one up on your screen. Warlock up in the top lane. 007X in the jungle. Their star player, G4 in mid. AD carry Lloyd used to be the star before G4 came in. And then Moss, their support here. They got great names. Their coach, by the way, named Cabbage.
Vegetable-oriented names for the most part, isn't it? And of course, the Season 3 champions, the two-time champions in Korea this year, SK Telecom T1 in the top lane. You've got Marin at jungle, Bengi, of course, in the mid lane. There's Faker in an ADC. Bang, his support is Wolf and coached by Coma.
And this is a very, very difficult game for us to kind of prepare for, because
Yeah, man, it's real hard.
it's really going to be the situation where the Bangkok Titans are going to go in and just try and give it all they have and see what they can do here in the early to mid game. Maybe they can try and surprise SKT a little bit, but all in all, I mean, everyone is expecting the same result from this.
Yeah.
How
think
fast
so.
can SKT then do it compared to EDG? I don't think it matters too much. It just depends on how you look at this game. Do you want to play it safe like they did against H2K yesterday? That's perfectly fine as well.
And the thing is, we actually saw BKT try to make early game plays when we saw them yesterday against Edward Gaming, and it failed horribly. Warlock clicked on the wrong thing when he went to Twisted Advance into the mid lane.
Hey, we've all done that once or twice.
Yeah, I know, but
Yeah, I
but
do that,
as
and I'm
your
in Silver
first-
4, man.
Exactly. As your first act in the game, it's a hard way to start your World Championship here. Bangkok Titans, we'll see what they can play for. Again, they do have a bright star in G4 here. Faker has actually been in his one game so far. Actually got picked on a little bit, so maybe G4 can pry something out of that lane. But
I think it's a race between SKT and EDG to see who can beat them faster. I bet they
Yeah.
got together after the game yesterday, and EDG's like, all right, here's our time. What can you do?
Yeah.
And Faker's like, I think maybe we can try it out. But
got a speedrunning championship here at the World Championship.
Pretty much. Get a little speed. Everybody loves watching speed runs, right? Yeah. Gangplank, the second ban. Mordekaiser, of course. I was hoping Mordekaiser would get through one of these games.
Not gonna happen.
Not this one, no.
I think it'll happen later on in a series.
It will happen at some point, of course, but then, I mean, people are so afraid of the snowball potential of a Mordekaiser. Push that bottom lane, take that dragon, take your mid tower, and just how hard it is to play against him when that happens. But we see the same three normal bans. Fiora, Darius coming in.
Yep.
There's a lot of these very contested picks. Fiora, is the one where it would be a surprise, but because against SKT and because Marin showed up big time yesterday, it's of course not a surprise in this match. It hasn't really been banned or picked too much in other games we have seen so far. Marin had a fantastic performance though on Fiora.
So do you just go with the Elise first? It seems like a solid pick to start things off with. You can build a lot of stuff around it. She fits into pretty much anything these days.
I think going Elise first is very good for Bangkok Titans. Again, it will give them some of this early game power they will need. I mean, you cannot start building like a late game Juggernaut composition and expect to reach late game against SK Telecom. So Elise would be the standout. Maybe you want to go for a Callista.
Thing is,
Up there if you want some AD carry pressure.
all 007X is playing as big dumb tanks. Gragas, Rek'Sai, Sejuani over and over again. There is the Callista, so
all right.
I was wrong about it earlier. I didn't think she was that important, but Bangkok Titans seem to care a whole lot about this one.
Well, I think Bengi will be quite happy to take that Elise, perhaps. Rek'Sai is a great champion for him as well. And Marin, are we going to get to see that deadly rumble? We haven't seen it a lot for Marin lately. There have been a lot of other picks that take priority, but maybe in a game like this, you could use it just to push ahead a little bit quicker.
Sure, maybe you can try out some of these things you have been working on in practice and you're maybe not 100% sure if you want to use it.
Yeah.
Give it a go, see how the performance goes, and maybe learn a few things, so just get it out of your system if you really want to play the Rumble, which is, of course, Marin's most played champion.
I mean,
More
Marin...
people are probably expecting him to play Maokai, though.
Well, Marin is a champion, or, well, Marin's a champion.
He's a champion now.
But he's also playing a champion, such as Rumble, that's very good at early dragon control. And if SKT says, hey, you know what? We're just going to go for fast early dragons, going to get 5 stacks right away and end this thing quick. Rumble's a good pick for that. Braum, Rek'Sai, the next 2 choices for the Bangkok Titans.
Yeah, BKT picking things that we're not too surprised to see from them overall. Braum definitely a great support pick when it's left open for you. And the Rek'Sai just kind of next on the list for 007X once you ban that Gragas away.
Yeah, and I think it's okay to trade Elise for Rek'Sai. I think Rek'Sai is a very, very strong pick still by then getting the Callista, as long as you can then bully your lane. And that's why I don't really like Braum too much here for Bangkok Titans. I would rather see him just all in on that bottom lane. You use the first pick on the AD carry. Give me a Thresh, give me a Kennen, something that can really dominate 2 versus 2.
By the way, this is really a Faker Master Yi game. I know we saw him hover over Aurelia.
Hey, they got the AP
he has
top
played
lane.
that in mid. It's true.
They're setting up for them. AP top lane.
He played Master Yi a couple times in Korea in the summer season. He won the games with him.
It could be Riven as well. It could be the Zed
Could be.
coming in. I mean, they're setting up for a physical damage healer in the mid lane.
Yeah, and gonna grab that Alistar, I'd imagine, rather than the Shen support or something like that. Yep, it'll get locked in along with Bang's Vayne, which is a pretty common pick for him.
Well, you mentioned speed running this game. They've got a whole lot of really good tower divers here. Alistar can ignore turret for 6 seconds. Elise can repel away. And again, you mentioned Rumble with the early game dragon control and whatnot. SKT is certainly set up for a very fast, aggressive composition, and they can always fall back on the Vayne if it gets a little bit later than 20 minutes.
Lane swap it early on. Rumble doesn't require that much gold to be super effective. You have the Vayne then, who gets a lane swap lane, gets your levels under her belt. So SKT can play that style, and as well, the Bangkok Titans is not a team you would expect to do really well in lane swaps. It often is something we see a lot more of when it comes to the best regions we have around the world, and especially international tournaments where really you get tested on your lane swaps. So they might find themselves in a situation where they don't 100% know what to do, what the next few moves are going to be, and then you get punished super hard in lane swaps.
I think Maokai is a great choice for the top lane. Just pick something solid, pick something that's not going to die very easily, and the Aurelia possibly for mid lane. I don't know, man.
Interesting. Mid lane Aurelia for G4.
Okay, well that may make the Master Yi harder to play. There is that.
Already predicting the matchup, Doa. G4 is a level ahead, all right?
This pick and ban phase went downhill pretty fast with the last 2 picks.
Really, it's not a blind pick mid lane.
Did it.
that's
For
for
Bangkok Titans, you blind pick Aurelia. You also have purely physical damage, outside of obviously a little bit of true damage. And yes, okay, we can count Maokai and his insane amount of AP damage.
Oh,
He's
yeah,
got good
dude.
ratios.
So Bangkok Titans are really going to fight against the clock here. They have to win that early game so hard against SK Telecom, but the lane
even
swap
have
for them
wave
can
clear.
still just happen. They don't have
Riven.
the wave clear either, no.
Go Riven.
That'd be a fun matchup. Mid lane is essentially top lane. Now it's a race who can fight more often.
Yeah, I feel like G4 is like, you know what? I want to pick into a 1v1 skill matchup against Faker. Like, all right. I think Faker's going to be fine with that.
That is one way to test yourself. The hover for Olaf!
Oh, the Olaf!
And mid lane has become top
geez.
lane. Aurelia versus Olaf up in the mid. Actually,
They could swap it.
Yeah,
No,
I mean,
this is going to be
swap it.
Olaf mid.
Yeah.
Randomly, one day, I was sitting on Reddit. I don't know why, but I was just there.
Why do any of this?
Yeah, why do we? And suddenly this guy links a Faker highlight video where he's playing all of mid lane. I'm like, come on, we're never gonna use that in competitive play.
Yeah, not unless it's the World Championships.
And now we get all of mid lane for Faker into the Aurelia. So strong early game for him. But he's 2 melee champions. Like the junglers, they really want to go towards that mid lane and say hello and see if they can impact something. SKT, again, as we mentioned earlier, might just look to lane swap the Vayne away from the Kalista and then play that game against the Bangkok Titans.
I mean, the nice thing for SKT is everyone on the Bangkok Titans jumps into melee, and suddenly they're just dancing on an equalizer. It's going to be a little bit rough, I think.
Yeah, it's going to be a difficult one. A melee-heavy team up against Rumble, definitely a hard one to go for. Just a lot of slows, a lot of AoE crowd control on the SKT lineup overall. If we talk about the mid lane matchup, there's one thing I know about Aurelia versus Olaf. At level 4, it power spikes for Aurelia. That's when she can take over the matchup.
That's the moment.
That's literally when you go for the all-in, and that's the one moment I think G4's got a really big attempt for.
Do you have
Obviously,
the same power spikes versus Faker?
I mean,
is it different?
I think Faker kind of throws off the standard matchups a little bit, you know?
Well, we'll see what happens, guys. We're going to get ourselves into the game, and so you at home, let us know how it's going to go. Tweet at Level Esports with the hashtag SKTWin or BKTWin. Let us know if you think the Bangkok Titans can upset the #1 Korean seed in SK Telecom T1. I mean, we've had upsets here at the World Championship, but this is the upset to end all upsets, really. This is a tough road ahead for the Thai team coming into Worlds here.
I would say so, and I haven't looked up the stats, but I think it's fairly reasonable to say this is Faker's first professional game on Olaf. I don't know if I need to look it up to make that call. I know Monty's probably looking it up right now. He probably already has, like 10 minutes ago.
Serene can be happy. We're running double teleport again.
Yep.
On the side of SK Telecom. They're already looking for G1. This,
undercut.
His first
On
slow,
G4.
yeah.
They got a lot of slows.
Yeah.
There's a flash already from G4.
We just talked about the 2 melee matchups and how the junglers can look to impact that very early. Flash is now gone for G4. Respect to him anyway, though. You're blind picking your mid laner.
Yep.
You take an Aurelia and you say, you know what, Faker, I'm gonna duel you. I'm gonna take my gloves off and slap you once and say, come at me. Let's see what happens.
Well, he loses Flash before a minute into the game, so not a
He's
good
making it a little bit
auspicious
harder
start.
for himself.
He's putting the training
But-
weights on.
Right.
Yeah.
Just sandbagging for the,
to be-
lane matchup, right?
To be fair, Faker doesn't have Flash either, so I mean, really, he's just playing fair.
That's a good point. Faker
Yeah.
has decided to go teleport Ghost to the mid lane with this Olaf. Double teleport.
Yep.
Saw how well it worked for Origin last game. A little bit different this time with the mid Olaf.
Well, it's a strong split pusher, though,
It is.
coming into the mid game. So SKT going for that lane swap, but Bangkok Titans is going to read it and meet them up and get the 2v2 lane.
Yeah. No bias.
So, and this is going to mean there's going to be a jungle start for SK Telecom, so they will get an experience advantage. Must might try to go out and just freeze the wave, but he's soon going to find that SKT is going to be up there as well. Didn't even do the full camp. They just stopped, took the small one, went instantly to lane as they saw Moss was up there.
And already the mid lane's actually pushing in towards Faker's turret. This is actually very smart of SKT to do this. Elise has great early gank, and actually already Faker can go for this kill. The chain slow is available. Ignite pop by G4.
You do not
D4
find it
went
all up
in.
at level 1, but
No.
he can reset his axe again and again and again and again.
He doesn't know about the power spike.
Level
Reek, you gotta
4.
run down there and tell him, man.
Now, interestingly, of course, with Flash for both these guys, their base health is actually quite low. Both do plenty of damage early on, so like an all-in is possible to do the damage. You can see G4 turning on
Oh,
Flash.
there's the ghost. He popped it. He's going after G4. He's got no flash. He's got no life. First blood. 1v1. Olaf versus Aurelia. That's a sentence that was actually said in the World Championships.
Hey, for top lane, that's
Wow.
normal. For the mid lane, it's a bit more rare.
But G4, why would you fight the level 1 Olaf at first? Lose the
I
trade.
don't know.
You don't have a flash from level 1.
He was literally just standing there, waiting for him to come in. What's
All
going
right.
on, Deficio?
Again,
Analyze this.
He's making it harder for himself, so it's even greater when he picks up the kill. Later on, we get 2v2 lane top. That is where Bangkok Titans can try and make some plays with the Kalista. But Alistar Vayne can very often just sit and farm and just try and out-sustain basically with the Alistar. Played very defensive. Will be a gank down bottom lane. Look here. 007 is coming out. That's a TP.
Oh,
Teleport
cancels.
canceled. Yeah.
But that still means that they could go after Marin.
They can go for him, yeah. He's
Marin
running
has
away though.
Flash.
Yeah, he knows what's up.
Saw him on the ward in the river.
Yep.
They have now information on where the jungle is, so Bengi can make some moves on the top side of the map. Blue buff has not been taken yet. And Wolf also knows the jungler's not here. We can go aggressive.
There's a knock up onto Lloyd. Condemn pushes Moss back just a bit, wants to avoid that shield. They're going to chase exhaust onto Lloyd.
Attack.
Bang getting chased. There's a stun. Bang in a little bit of trouble here. Lloyd as well. They're going for it. The brawl's real. Bang low, so is Lloyd. Wolf going for the bloodthirsty kill. Here comes Bangy. There's Repel. Does he get the execute? He does. And Bang coming in. Moss in a little bit of trouble. And that's a Moss that's not going to grow on any side of any tree. It's gone.
Mechanical misplay by Lloyd. He tried to make a really cute trick where you attack a minion, you kill it with Rend, and you get the reset so you can keep rending onto Bang. But Rend didn't kill the minion. It went on a cooldown. He had no more damage left. Close, but definitely, much like Graves, no cigar.
It's going to be one of those games. I expected this when I saw who I was going to cast with.
Just take a break, Deficio. We got this one.
You guys just go crazy.
That's
No,
my
that's
normal
not
day.
us. That's not our. Oh, okay, it is. All right, it is. That's our normal day.
Going crazy.
Man, this game will drive several people crazy, I'm pretty sure. Moss, Jason, there's the fadeaway smite for Bengi for that blue buff, and Wolf just says, talk to the hoof, I guess. He's got hands, but I wanted to make it cow related. Yeah.
Yeah.
Why not?
I guess it's more steer. He's male, right? Like,
that's no bull.
ah, Noah, you're great. But Warlock, meanwhile, not enough to spot Marin.
Oh boy.
Has to flash.
Yep. Summoner out of the way. Marin doesn't have to worry about that anymore, and I mean, we're kind of seeing what we expected to see, right?
So, Freak, where's the level 4 power spike in mid lane?
Well, he's down 14 CS and half a phage.
Half
He's level
level
4. Oh, I missed it.
5.
Oh, it's only level 4 you can do it.
It's like
too late now.
I mean, rank 3 acts is too much damage for you to trade back in, but you have this like
hi.
small window.
Jungler fight. And 007 getting a little bit of damage onto Bengi. There's a chilling smite. Bengi has to get away. A little bit of damage at the undertow. Meanwhile, Marin with the kill. It was so close. Bengi's still on the run. There we go. Before James got the kill.
Power spike.
Bangkok Titans, but Faker is not going to be stopped. Level
Ragnarok.
6. G4 should have turned around and not let him pick up the undertow act. It's too late now. Faker can't lose this.
I don't think so.
Come on, tag the
D4.
Wolf. Get
There we go. Wolf coming over. He wants a pizza. The Danny's
that's not
bloodthirsty.
cool.
They going to give it to him? D4 try and get away. There's a kill for Faker. Uh-oh.
Marin has gone Soul Stealer first item, getting some confidence after that kill. Meanwhile, the very exciting top lane, they're farming.
Yep. All right, Moss condemned against the wall there. Takes a bit of damage from Bang's bolts. Faker's just going to go ahead and take out this mid lane turret, because why not?
3-0 already.
Yep. Not as fast as Deft, though.
Yeah, it was a later third kill.
2 minutes, almost 3 minutes slower than Deft had 3 kills.
Separates the great Olafs for the good Olafs, though, is when you make sure you take damage before you hit the tower. So your passive kicks in.
Yep.
This is some lessons for you, Dora. If you want to go play Olaf mid lane,
I would love to play Olaf mid lane.
Do not try it in solo queue.
Where else am I going to play it?
So speaking of speedruns, I have legit seen a speedrun of League of Legends. It's playing a 1v0 and winning the game with no one else in the game.
Oh, yeah.
It actually is playing Olaf, taking 3 turret shots at the start of the game, and then pushing with 10% health the whole time. I've actually seen that footage, so Faker's learning those lessons.
The more you know. There's a teleport. Doesn't want to miss a single minion. It's kind of like Aerosmith. He doesn't want to miss a thing.
I was going for the Rick Astley, never gonna give up minions.
Well, that works too, yeah.
Yeah.
Never going to let them down. G4. I think he only needs 2 of those Gs for this game. I dropped the mic that attached to my head.
You let go of the head that stayed where it was.
I can't. I'd have to fall on the ground for this. That would not be comfortable.
I mean, you can try when we're back on camera.
I could.
Bring out the theatrics. You can do an interpretive dance for this game.
I want to see Warlock kill Marin. That's the only
He got
thing
real close.
that counts in this game.
He's actually winning in CS by the way.
Yeah, so he's technically a better player right now.
He got solo killed. I don't know if you can say technically better player.
Yeah, but that was unlucky. That was
Unlucky?
Yeah, because the sapling ran the wrong way.
Yeah.
What's
okay,
a kill worth, though? It's about 15 CS. So it's pretty even. All right. What about this first item Magi's from Marin? Is that standard Deficio?
Yes, we haven't seen Rumble in a while. This has been the big change for him. It is gold efficient when you buy it, I believe, with their
It's
new
very
way to
close.
stack
If
switch.
you can get
Very,
all
very
skills,
close.
actually. Yeah.
If you
95.
die, however, it is a pretty bad item.
We'll see if
you die.
SKT goes full elements.
Well,
Elements Copenhagen Wolves was the match.
I mean,
3 or 4
perfect,
snowball items.
perfect game is already ruined for SKT. Thanks, Bengi.
Yeah. I think EDG were further ahead at this point.
007. He's in trouble, man. G4 goes in on Faker to zone him out. Faker pops that Ragnarok, gonna slow him down with the undertow. 07 backing off already.
Oh, the
and I
action.
think he's in trouble.
There's
One
the
more.
one! There's the two!
Little bloodthirsty action for Wolf there as he picks that one up.
He really just wants to be part of everything.
He does.
What a triad support, just roaming around the map, joining in for fights,
Hey, that's what I'd do, man. Only I'd get more kills.
and you probably die a little bit more.
5-0-0.
Nah, I don't think so.
He's playing Alistar. It's impossible to die.
Yeah. It's true. Well, what can you say? We're less than 10 minutes in. There's been 9 kills. I'm happy with this game.
10 kills.
There's going to be
Thank
2
you.
more here. The
Nice.
flash pulverized Lloyd just delivered the bang. And
Oh,
Yogi's
TV
coming
Warlock is
through.
here.
They're going to try to take this fight around, but can
he wants
Bangkok
Marin again.
Titans
Double TP.
really win this?
Two-side fight. They're going to go into there. Bengi takes out Lloyd. Moss on the run as well. Wolf could come over the wall, but 007X right there. Faker comes down to finish off Moss, it looks like. Reckless strikes. And another kill for Faker. He's 5-0-1 at 10 minutes.
You know, unfortunately, he did it wrong. Moss was facing east. You're supposed to face north as Moss if you want to survive a lot longer. So.
Well, he was on the south side of the map, too.
Yeah, but is that below the equator?
I don't know, man. This Moss stuff is like too complicated.
We actually do have Moss and a tree in the same team. There is some synergy, but here comes Faker. Look for the outplay, but suddenly 007 is here. One more hit.
007, he gets Faker.
Wow. Danger is his middle name.
He got a quantum of solace there for that hill at a time
That's right.
for his mid lane. Meanwhile, SKT, did Benki just cocoon the dragon?
You can almost say it took a golden eye to hit a skill shot like that, huh?
Yeah, for Faker, you only live twice, so one more death and he's out of this game.
This is truly the casting apocalypse now, isn't it? Well, Dragon goes over to SK Telecom with a 6,000 gold lead at about 11:20. That Grob's like, just kill me. I don't even know what's going on in this game.
I think we're getting to see the new meta pick in mid lane
Oh, yeah?
Yeah,
in Olaf.
I mean, he's double the CS.
How can you argue against that KDA?
I don't know.
And you know KDA
can't.
means KDA means everything.
Yeah, of course.
Oh, pick up your axe. Faker. Somebody else is going to have to pick that up. That's so irresponsible.
Yeah, you just leave them on the ground. The vendors restock them all the time. It's fine. Ooh. Moss just mad lifed that Braum Q. It meant nothing.
Yeah. Well, it was something.
It momentarily lowered the health bar.
Yep.
All right, G4 has a blue buff. So, that's scary.
Oh, Moss and Lloyd just trying to do whatever they can, but they're already so far down in CS, and
Faker's
dang,
coming
Wolf just
down
have
as well
no fear.
now.
Uh-oh, here he comes again.
Wherever this guy is in the
Faker.
mid lane, he really wants to be part of it.
Wolf doesn't
Right.
even need Lamb to hunt champions.
Uh-oh.
Lloyd is stuck
Just
under the
leaving him
turret.
alone.
Lloyd.
Goodbye. Faker gets that one. No bloodthirstiness for Wolf there. Lets it go over.
Lloyd kind of sounds like that friend in your group of friends that's always messing stuff up. It's like, Lloyd, you tipped over the grill. Oh, Marin caught in the mid lane, though. There's a knockup. This might be another
Oh, he
kill for
flashes
BKT.
away.
Oh, he's not gonna...
G4.
Oh, he made it! There's the equalizer coming down, and 007 is taken out again.
Man, this is not good for BKT. No, I take it back. They take down Faker. Oh, that's a bit of a turnaround, actually. 2 for 1, though, still in the favor of SKT.
Yeah, they gotta back off, I guess, a little bit. Faker going a bit too ham, finally.
I mean, he's the depth leader
Never
on his team.
expected to hear that from you, Dora.
I-
Too ham?
No, I
Too
never
ham.
expected to see it either. All right, well, Marin with the sickest bait here.
Oh yeah, fight. G4. So
Oh, that shield came just in time.
G4 is really trying so hard to get these kills, but it's just so difficult. But Warlock, on the other hand, every time he's gone in, he's been able to get something and a kill on Faker.
Faker just like forgets that turrets do damage to him there. I'm worried that this game is actually gonna reduce SK Telecom's skill as a team.
Well, they're playing
I mean,
Olaf.
it can't go much lower.
Well, they are playing Olaf mid, I suppose, aren't
Yeah.
they? Yeah.
That was my SKT jab. He didn't react to it.
We still see the same here for Bangkok Titans as they tried against EDG though. They're not afraid to go in and really just go all in. Like, it's what they've been doing as well. Home in the GPL. It's very aggressive in the way they like to play, often around G4. He got that Relia pick, he blind picked it, and obviously hasn't made it easy for himself.
Why would you blind pick Aurelia mid lane? There's so many other picks out there. Azir, Victor.
It hard counters the rest of Faker's champion pool. He had to go outside the pool to win the matchup. That's why the Olaf came through.
I suppose. Well,
Next
SKT.
level.
Oh, turret been destroyed.
Yep.
Just found out. Oh,
Marin.
Marin in a lot of trouble. I don't think he's getting out. No, Lloyd with the kill there.
That's Soul Stealer.
Yeah.
Not paying off very well.
4 stacks at the moment.
Now, under efficient. Really.
That is not value.
Now, SKT, in all seriousness, Faker is in a little bit of trouble. He might have to pop that ult to get away. Taking a lot of damage from the ultimate from G4. Doesn't use the ult. Doesn't need it. This is still a World Championships group stage game. You do have to play a little bit seriously. It's very sloppy right now, but it looks like it's not going to matter too much, is it?
SKT is pushing it to the limit.
Yeah.
And like that, chasing for some of the kills, but they also know what they're doing. I mean, that trade in the middle lane we saw earlier with Faker, he knew exactly what was going on level 1, level 2, so of course he just takes the kill for it.
Marin
with the Soul Stealer is a different thing.
It's time for revenge. The flash from Lloyd, used right away. Equalizer, where does Lloyd go? Right into a flame chunk, flame spitter, flame chunk. What the heck was that? Marin.
Flame chompers.
Flame.
I think is what you're going for.
Flame chompers, maybe.
The wrong champion.
Flame chunk. I guess that's a new move.
Sick.
I've just revealed it.
It's the new Chips Ahoy flavor.
That does not sound tasty.
No, it doesn't. But
Faker run.
A bit tasty as well, though. Red buff on him, still walking away safely with the flask on. And now the engage onto the turret. 007X is going to have a pretty hard time on this one.
Well, Bengi gets under the turret. Going to get taken down
man.
very, very low. Very sloppy start from SKT. What do you expect, though? BKT, Bangkok Titans pushing them back. 007 coming in.
You know, I don't think they're going to win the speed run here. World Record's going to stay with Edward Gaming on this one. SKT doing what they can in the front line.
The turnaround.
Oh no, G4! He's trying to run away, but there's one more attack onto the bank, picking up the kill. 2-0-3 on him.
Marin just yelled face melter. You know what I realized is that I've never really heard Super Galaxy Rumble in English before. This is the first time.
Oh yeah, you used to the Korean.
Right.
I've never heard it before in English. Wow.
Oh, it's great.
We need Lissandra in the game.
Yeah, well, Korean Lissandra's the best.
Oh, Korean Vi and Korean Lissandra are two of the most ear-shattering champions in League of Legends.
Like, I don't know why in the Korean client they made Lissandra have to, like, make some noise like she's choking to death every time she autoed.
Look, she's made of ice.
You think she breathes?
How would ice sound otherwise?
Not like that. Dude, I'm from
Clink,
Wisconsin,
clink,
Minnesota.
clink.
I know what
come on,
ice
that
sounds
doesn't
like.
work.
I mean, if you play Glacial Malphite, he's chilling.
He just kind of still says, like, rock solid and stuff, right?
Yeah.
Ice hard. Doesn't work. Doesn't work as well. Never mind.
Less, yeah. A bit less exciting of a line.
Pending.
All right, well.
You know, SKT Bang is using the SK Telecom buy skin right now as well, I believe. I
Doing his
noticed.
best Piglet impression.
He is.
Unfortunately, Piglet, one of the 3 SKT members not returning to Worlds this year.
Yep. Bengi and Faker are returning Season 3 champions.
Maybe they'll make it Season 5 champions.
Maybe. If they can take out Bangkok Titans, it's a big step on the road to the finals.
It is a step.
And in no way was that sentence overhyped.
Overhyped like
007.
SKT. Oh!
Uh-oh. Oh no, if you die, your government will disavow their knowledge of you. Be careful.
All right,
That's something 007 needs to watch out for.
That's true, but
Yeah.
right now 007 has to watch out for a lot as SKT are sizably ahead in this one. 10,000 up at 18 minutes. Not quite to Edward Gaming's record, but certainly SKT flexing their muscles on this one as they continue to play throughout the jungle. 4 turrets picked up already. They're overplaying the dives, but objective-wise, they're doing a good job of picking everything up they need. Dragons on spawn and turrets kind of all across the map being picked up here.
They're basically just waiting for Bangkok Titans to go aggressive somewhere, and then SKT can respond.
Yeah, pretty much.
Because you got 3 lanes pushing down. Basically, all the towers are gone except for one
mean-
Faker's trying on now.
You can wait for the next dragon. You can pretty much do whatever you want. And Faker's like, you know what? I'm not going to attack you because I don't want turret hits. I can just do damage here. Fight in the mid lane. There's the ult used by Moss to get the knock up onto Bengi. Lloyd takes a big hit on his way out. Looks like SKT backs off for the moment anyway. Oh, G4 getting aggressive. There's a stun on Marin, followed by the Q from Brong. Wolf gets a knock up. Teleport coming in. Here comes Faker. Oh, never mind. He doesn't come in.
But again, it means the fight's still going.
I guess so. They're just going to walk away.
But Faker's getting the bot lane right here.
Nice
Easy game
catch.
for Warlock. This is the fight that Bangkok Titans need. A knockback there from Vayne means no kills picked up yet. 007X still on the chase. They may kill Bangi for the third time, but Faker's up to the inhibitor turret.
So Faker's still pushing on the bottom side, but again, Bangkok Titans, you know, you just have to go all in.
Yeah,
Faker's just abandoned his team completely at this point. He's like, you know what? I'm just going to split push.
Nobody can kill him one-on-one. They know they have to just try and engage. Sadly for them, they only got one kill.
Yeah. He's playing it like he is playing Master Yi, though, right? Ignore your team, split push all the time, steal all the kills, overdrive. That's.
I'm sure he's flaming Bengi too in chat.
No.
He's like, stop feeding jungle. I'm carrying so hard. Undoubtedly.
Bang and Wolf are playing it pretty much straight up, though. Low KP for Bang is he's not really diving anything, but he's being the big turret battering ram. Wolf's roams have honestly been amazing.
Yeah, man.
He's setting up a lot for SKT. I mean, keep in mind, like, Bangkok Titans are a team that have pretty well crushed their region. They crushed the, not crushed, but they won the wildcard tournament fairly well. And you can see, just, I mean, like,
It was a weird
high
tournament,
level
though.
of play.
Bit of a gap.
It was a weird tournament without, they played in the group stages and then suddenly they came into the playoffs and kind of surprised
Yeah.
and won in the end. Goes to Worlds here. We heard in the feature before from Warlock saying,
It was going to be hard no matter what.
we know all the teams here are fantastic, so no matter what group we're in, it's going to be tough. It's just about get the most out of the games.
Yeah.
Here, obviously, again, they're trying to have a bit of fun with like their Aurelia pick and saying, I'm going to try and challenge Faker to a one-on-one duel and see what happens.
Yeah.
So for them, they know this is just about getting whatever experience, information you can get.
I like
in
the
games like
bravery.
this.
Yeah.
I respect their
I respect the bravery, too.
respect from G4, man. He's like, you know what? I'm going to take it.
Yeah, dude. Gotta go for it.
But it's just interesting to show that, you know, how strong of a team SKT and Edinburgh Gaming as well from yesterday really are as teams. Like, their ability to punish every single overextension, every single mistake. You know, don't miss the skill shots. The roam's always on point. The turret push is always safe. You can sort of just, you can learn a lot here from a team like SKT. When they're not opposed, you can see sort of what their normal decision-making can be.
Yeah, the problem is just SKT is also, of course, fooling around.
I know.
So, like, it's very
I don't
difficult
think
for
you're
you
gonna learn out this
to
game.
really pick up anything. It's just more the individual fights.
I think it's the individual players. Like, it feels like Bang and Wolf are playing this as though they're playing any match in the LCK.
Sure.
Intelligent roams, no deaths, no dives they don't need to do. Baker's definitely taking a lot of risks unnecessarily.
Baker's having some fun, that's for sure.
But yeah,
SKT starting Baron, backing off, baiting a little bit.
22-minute Baron bait here when you got to lead this big. That's when you start looking for it.
Yep.
Scuttlecrab's going to despawn here. I believe that was Bangkok Titans, so that was giving vision that SKT couldn't remove. They play around the fog of war. They're going to find a stall on the Moss.
Yeah, Moss in a little bit.
Oh,
Double
he's
Faker
fast.
coming in. He is really fast with that Ragnos filled with spears too. Wolf tries to go in. Bangkok Titans backing away. Bengi getting low there. Marin drops the equalizer very late. Doesn't do a whole lot, but it does push the Bangkok Titans back. Marin flashed over the wall with that flame spitter. Gets himself a kill onto Lloyd. 007 knocked up, and Faker is going after G4, who is trying to escape the fight. And there's another kill onto 007. 1 for 3 already. The duel in the jungle continues. G4 fighting Faker, gets a stun with that equilibrium strike.
We're at 11 stacks now.
Yeah, it's gonna be about it.
Tenacity's nice, but Permaslow's a little bit better there. Nice chase down. 19-7 in kills.
Wow.
Very bloody game.
No kidding. That's gonna be undoubtedly one of the bloodiest games of Worlds, that's for sure. Marin just taking down that tier 2 in mid in the meantime.
But it is what Bangkok Titans can do and should do. There's no reason to sit back and just try and farm and play it out passive.
Yeah.
Challenge them, see what happens. SKT obviously knows that as well. In the pick and ban phase, you highlight the Rumble, how, hey, get some more mid-game power in. The Sidestone is, or Sidestone, the Soul Stealer.
Yeah.
For Marin, definitely getting close to fully stacked.
So 11 right now, I believe.
It's getting there.
Yeah, he's getting up there. We'll see if he can complete it by the end. It gives cooldown reduction, the only CDR item you'd ever see Rumble buy. If he did get it 20 stacks.
That one, death not hurting him too much. They've managed to control their blue buff. Oh, but they're going to lose a dragon.
Thank you, Red, on that one. This is going to be number 3 for SK Telecom here. Moss wants to steal. The sweeper actually didn't spot the ward, so he can attempt.
Oh,
Yeah.
nope.
Well done. Smited at 550. Make sure the Q lands first. Doesn't give an opportunity for a steal to come through. As far as jungle mechanics go, actually, I think it's correct to smite late when you're facing a non-jungle attempted steal. If you're gonna time 2 abilities together, err on the side of smite being late.
Yeah.
And you lower the chance of steals coming through. When you smite early and it's mistimed, it gets to 50 health, and that's when the steals come through.
Makes sense.
But again, when we look now at SKT, in this game, we're also in the group, because obviously EDG and H2K are the 2 other teams in the group. They're playing the next game,
Yeah.
just after this one here. And SKT yesterday against H2K, to me, it was a game where SKT showed a lot of respect to H2K. They didn't try and go over aggressive and like go for crazy tower dives or anything. They played it fairly passive because their composition wanted to scale up. And H2K still managed to do fairly well if you look at just the early game at least. So now
Early game wasn't bad.
they take on EDG next. And obviously SKT is going to be looking at that game. The Bangkok Titans will be looking at the game as well. Because for them, H2K is the target.
Yeah.
Like, that's the team they want to be. That's H2K. And for H2K, they're obviously like trying to pull the upset against SKT or maybe EDG, and they have to be able to beat Bangkok Titans if they want even a chance of like force maybe a tiebreaker to get out of the groups.
Absolutely. Those are going to be honestly important games. You never want to get caught unawares. I mean, we saw teams like Alliance overlook the wildcard team dropping
I don't remember that game at all.
Yeah, I remember it pretty vividly. I actually watched it about 3 days ago.
Sounds like a great game. I
Gotta make
should rewatch
sure,
that.
you gotta make sure you never overlook an opponent. Things can always go wrong for you. SK Telecom now by the book here. Tower dives aside. 26-minute Baron, not gonna be hard at all to pick that one up. Good smite once again by Bangi.
Bravery Shield. Wow. That's not going to get annoying when I start saying it all the time. Sorry, Monty. Sorry in
Courageous
advance.
Giga Guard.
Oh, that's another one? I got to memorize these.
Yep.
I'm going to take notes, man.
And the other one is Audacious Bravery Shield, I believe.
Wow.
You have too much information in your head, Freak.
I've actually played quite a bit of Rumble.
I only know like Rammus, like okay.
Rumble's one
Wow.
of the few champions
That's about
I've
it.
never played a game on, actually.
Really?
There's like, I think like 3 or 4 left that I haven't played a game on. Rumble's one of them. Oh, the base. Oh, supportal combat! Oh, he's backing away. Never mind.
Sadly. No fights here, no bloodthirst. Sadly, only one Yordle in this game.
It seemed like SKT were enjoying the first 15 minutes, taking all these small fights, and then when Bangkok Titans started engaging onto them and got a few kills here and there, even though of course it's never at risk for SK Telecom,
Yeah.
it was enough for them to say, okay guys,
Let's get down to business.
Let's, you know, get the Baron, let's look to close out the game.
Defeat
It's clean.
the Titan.
They're just playing it out methodically.
Here we go, the Baron Siege. BKT's wave clear is mostly just Lloyd.
Lloyd.
SKT have very, very few ranged champions, Bang and Bangi.
It's not the greatest siege ever. Martin's
No.
trying to do a bit of split pushing down in bot lane,
Sure.
but it's going to take him a little while to crack this base open, even with a gold lead like they have.
Again, just playing it slow and steady. The team is obviously also thinking about the next match for them.
Oh, here comes Faker. Going in with a bit of
Try.
speed from that Righteous Glory. They're going to use that to take out the turret. Now they're coming in, knock up onto Warlock. Moss uses his ultimate early. 007 in the back a little bit, but now Bang doing tons of damage unopposed. Warlock nearly goes down, but this is all SKT right now. Another nice knock up pulverize coming in from Wolf, and that's going to set up the end of this fight. Warlock low, and Moss is going to make it down to Fountain, but just like Randy Moss, he's out of the game. That was an
3
American football
kills.
joke.
That was good. 3 kills quickly and easily picked up, and now it's time to close the game out. 20 seconds of the respawns. 5 versus 2, and there's no wave clear. It's just tank. So SK Telecom
Over,
T1 will take the game as they were meant to. A 28-minute win, 2-0 in the group stage.
Yeah, Nexus goes down, and SKT takes it just like we thought. GG. Well,
Now, for SK Telecom, I mean, they're probably already thinking about the game tomorrow. It's against
Yeah.
EDG. It's the game everyone is looking at in this group here. The 2 favorites to win the entire World Championship. They're going to be facing each other. There's a lot of talk, you know. Klelov went out and said, yeah, SKT wants revenge because at MSI, of course, EDG beat them. But it's going to be such an insane match between these 2 teams.
Yeah. We know they're very skilled players. It was actually nice to see that
Maybe 1 or 2 of them.
Yeah, I'd say down the line, these are obviously some very good teams when we see them hit the Rift later on. But, I kind of like seeing that SKT played the game the way they did. Okay, they're like, oh, Aurelia mid. Let's have a little bit of fun. Let's bring out the Olaf.
Sure.
All right, let's have the 1v1s. Let's do a bunch of really crazy tower dives to make the game entertaining. And
yeah, of course.
Faker, one of the most popular players here, of course, an amazing gamer. And he knows how to have fun with it. But then when it came down to it, like, all right, guys, let's just turn it on. And the last 5 minutes was just like textbook SKT, prep the Baron, take it down, take the buff, take the game.
Yeah, they lost a couple of people here and there to dopey dives, but in the end, it was a very, very clean close for SKT. And looking at this team going forward, like we said, the big match tomorrow is happening, EDG versus SKT. That is the one that everybody's waiting for, the one that SKT and EDG undoubtedly are waiting for as well too. So even in a game like this, where there's a clear skill gap between the two teams, it's good to see SKT playing it out clean.
And there's one thing I want to bring up, actually, is you mentioned maybe skill gaps between the teams, but also looking forward to SKT versus EDG. Keep in mind, that next match coming up, Edward Gaming versus H2K, we talked about it a very little bit during this game, but I mean, we saw the upsets already. We saw the Origin upset. Maybe H2K could pull the same thing. We'll see that in a little bit, but for now, for a closer look at that SKT, let's check in with Dash and the gang at the analyst desk.
Thank you, gentlemen. Now, that game was lots of good fun. And I have to say, it takes some serious guts to pull out Aurelia mid against Faker himself in the mid lane.
I'm pretty sure he knows all those matchups.
Yeah, but he gave away his counter pick. The Olaf, he just revealed that to everybody in the world.
Well, that's going to be the secret, I guess, moving forward. Just on blue side, ban Olaf, first pick Aurelia, done deal.
There it is.
On the serious note, I would like to give Warlock some credit because I think he's been surviving just fine. Like, besides his W on the creep yesterday, I think he's doing just fine. So that's a player you might look out for in the far future.
Yeah, and absolutely. And the way they approached this game was absolutely good fun. And they hit on it multiple times throughout the cast. The tenacity in which they approach the game, looking for those fights and definitely always looking to make moves and improve throughout the game. But I do want to take this opportunity to check in with you guys on Twitter and see what you want to ask the desk. First up, Juan E274 writes, what's the reason we are seeing Azir so much at Worlds, even though he's been nerfed?
Azir just has one of those kits where if you're allowed to play it in a team, it's kind of similar to Thresh, that he's always going to be relevant. And even though he's the lowest win rate champion in solo queue at the moment at about 42%, just his pattern in a team environment and what you can play against it is very limited. So you're still going to see him despite the nerfs.
Also, just his passive allows you to control pressure around objectives so well because you can stop their minion waves from moving forward. So it's pretty much just always a relevant pick.
Yeah, I do not envy the position of our balance team when it comes to Azir. Because people will be angry about it who are Azir mains who see 42%, and he's so difficult to play right now because he's easy to gank with the movement speed reduction, and he's not as rewarding to play, but he's still so rewarding in the highest skill cap.
Yeah, top of competitive play, bottom of solo queue is a tough spot to be in when you're looking at balancing. Next up, at M Kingston 782 says, do you think Mordekaiser will make an appearance, and will it have as much an effect as we expect? I'm coming to you with this one, Yamato.
Well, I think Mordekaiser, once again, is a champion that has, like all the juggernauts have this pattern of having very absurd strength, but very obvious weaknesses. I feel Mordekaiser is a type of champion that kind of changes how you have to play the game completely. That is why we kind of are not going to see it in the group stages. But as you're coming into the playoffs, I think some teams will dissect this pick.
Yeah, and I think it's one of those things that in a best of 5, if you're going to take this pick, you can take that risk and not immediately lose. Best of 1's a little bit hairier. Everybody's obviously desperate to get to the quarterfinals. And he changes the game so much because he accelerates the pace. He dominates dragon control. And then once he gets that dragon, he dominates sieges. And then you snowball the game out of, crazily. But if there's a counter pick, I wouldn't chance it in a best of 1. Just go for it in a best of 5.
And by virtue of being a melee champion, he completely changes the landscape of the team that he needs to have around him, which is another point towards maybe not wanting to chance it in best of 1s. Finally, our friend Black Anola asks, do you think a non-Eastern team has a chance to make it to the finals this year?
Ooh.
Yes!
No.
I like the gusto behind that.
Well, shout out to Black Anola there on that one.
It's like I'm hoping that my curse continues, but it's just how the groups are set up with EDG and SKT coming out of groups on one of each side. I cannot imagine a Western team beating these teams.
Yeah.
And I know Black Canola is a big TSM fan, and as I have previously advised him on Twitter, why not just be a fan of a good team, and then you can be happy. So, that'd be my continue.
All LGD fans right now are actually let down today.
Just be an SKT fan. And you know what? I can give that, as a KT fan myself, I can give that advice because I have known nothing but heartbreak in that particular matchup. Yeah.
I think, though, your point about the fact that with the way the groups were drawn, any team is going to have to go through either SKT or EDG, given that they actually make it out of their group, which they most likely will, in order to make it to the finals is a tall task and an unfortunate road for a lot of teams who have their sights set on the finals. Well, as we speak, Europe's H2K Gaming is gearing up to face the LPL powerhouse Edward Gaming. We'll be right back with a look at that matchup, so don't go anywhere.
Bang low, so is Lloyd. Wolf going for the bloodthirsty kill here. Got Bangy. There's Repel. Does he get the execute? He does. A little bit of damage at the undertow. Meanwhile, Lloyd Marin with the kill. It was so close.
Look for the outplay, but suddenly 007 here.
Marin caught in the mid lane, though. There's a knockup. This might be another kill for BKT. He's not gonna... he made it! Flash over the wall with that flame spitter. Gets himself a kill onto Lloyd. 007 knocked up, and Faker is going after G4. Yeah, Nexus goes down, and SKT takes it just like we thought. GG.